Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome back to the Mass Empowerment Project. I am Jonas Minardi, and I am here again, trying to inspire the population to step into their power and change things for the better, for themselves, for their children, and for the future of humanity. That is my goal. That's why I do this. And I had a beautiful moment this morning as I left my coffee shop, which you guys have all seen as I walk out of my coffee shop in the morning. I was speaking to a friend, and as I walked out the door, she was in her car, and I didn't even know it was her car, but on the back windshield it says, when the people fear their government, there's tyranny. And when a government fears the people, that's when there's freedom. And it's so important. And she stopped me and she said, did you like that? I said, yeah. It's crazy though, because we don't live by it. We comply with everything that they do. We pay their taxes, we follow their laws, we pay their fines, we pay their registrations. We pay all the things that they made up out of thin air. All of these things at one point did not exist. All this paperwork and bullshit laws, they didn't exist. They've been slowly over time been injected into our society to enslave us and rob us. And we gotta understand that. So, the government is never going to fear the people when it comes to like the people rising up and taking up arms and just like blowing up and killing all the people in government and winning their freedom that way. That's not what they fear. What they fear is the population ignoring them, no longer following their rules, making up their own society free of their control and manipulation. What they fear is an empowered population who can no longer be convinced by lies and deception that the government itself is necessary, because they can already create a beautiful, wonderful, joyous, prosperous, peaceful life for themselves. And they realize that the biggest impediment to living that beautiful, peaceful, prosperous life is the government itself. The government itself is the biggest impediment to humanity reaching its fullest potential. So, all I can say is if you start, I guess, first inside of your head, making that mental shift and understanding that the government deserves none of your allegiance. It deserves none of your compliance. They have not earned it. As a matter of fact, they have abused every single bit of compliance that we have given them. They have treated us like cattle and children that they can say and do anything to without recourse or repercussions for their actions. And since holding them accountable is not going to happen, because right now the avenues that are built to hold people accountable are controlled by the government, and the government is not going to hold itself accountable. So instead of worrying about who they are and what they did and what crimes they committed, let's start building something else amongst ourselves on an individual level first, on a neighborhood level next, on a community level next, and all the way up into a national and global level. Let's start working together without them to provide for one another. Let's start building that structure. And one of the ways that is most important and seems extremely difficult is we need to start exchanging something, anything, multiple things other than Federal Reserve notes in order to provide for our homes, our electricity, and our food. We need to start figuring out how to build those rails. those rails are right now, they exist in the crypto market. And the great thing about the crypto market is there are thousands, hundreds, thousands. I don't even know how many cryptocurrencies are, but there are a lot. So one of the examples I'll use is there's a cryptocurrency in Texas called Texit. And how awesome would it be if Texit started, if Texans or people that owned Texit in Texas could just be exchanging those. When your electric bill comes up, it's 25 Texits, and you pay it in 25 Texits. You could also pay it in $300. It's up to you, because 25 Texits are equal to the value of $300 right now. But as the dollar collapses, that electric bill is still going to be 25 Texits, but now it's going to be $700-800 because the dollar's collapsing, but value is not collapsing. Things to think about. Empowered things to think about. I personally would love to be exchanging in increments of gold and silver. And I do believe that gold and silver will be around after this reset is done. And the question is whether or not we're going to use it properly. I love y'all. The Mass Empowerment Project, Jonas Bernardi. Just throwing shit on the walls and seeing what sticks. I love you. Peace.